The man never expected that. The skills granted to him by the god after his reincarnation would be first come, first served. Because he arrived a few minutes later than his classmates, many powerful skills were snatched up by others. The remaining ones were all useless skills, which Jack found hard to accept. So, he immediately demanded an explanation from the god before him. The god, realizing the unfairness, made an exception and gave Jack all the remaining skills. However, before Jack could start complaining, he was suddenly transported to a forest in another world. Upon arrival, he found a bag containing basic equipment. After putting it on, Jack decided to check his stats, but the system reminded him that he needed to roll a dice to allocate his stats first. Unexpectedly, instead of displaying the points, the dice revealed 2 letters, though Jack had no idea what this meant. He eventually put his points into luck. Little did he know, M stood for max, the maximum value. After checking his other skills, Jack discovered a pair of contact lenses among the remaining items. When he put them on, he realized they had an identification effect. After taking some usable mushrooms and clean water, Jack decided to find a safe place to set up his shelter. After filling his stomach, Jack planned to fight a few goblins to test his strength. He wrapped magic around his weapon and attacked. In no time, the 2 goblins were defeated. After defeating them, Jack's level rose to level 2, and some useless skills and stats were upgraded. After trying some gymnastics and a few military punches, an idea began to form in Jack's mind. He thought, if he wrapped magic around his entire body, his body would not only become lighter, but his attack speed would also increase dramatically. In the following days, Jack spent his days hunting goblins, and his nights studying magic. Soon, he was enjoying a comfortable life in this new world. But one evening, Jack, who had intended to catch a rabbit for dinner, used his detection skill and found a familiar presence. It was all of his classmates from his class. As class president, Lucy, Jack's childhood friend. Jack initially wanted to check in on them, but after thinking it through, he hesitated. It was this free and easy life that he had longed for. So, he decided he would conquer the new world alone. However, Jack never expected that. His classmates' mental states had completely collapsed. All of his classmates were either complaining or figuring out ways to get back home, while only Kevin's team was seriously researching the skills granted by the god. Lucy, though seemingly calm compared to the others, froze in place when she saw a group of goblins. Just as everyone was falling into despair, Kevin's team quickly drew their weapons and wiped out the goblins in no time. It was then that Lucy snapped out of her stupor, leading everyone to a safe place with a wide view. She assigned each classmate a corresponding task. At first, everyone was doing their part, and the group worked together harmoniously. But it didn't last long. A few of the girls expressed dissatisfaction first, and soon others began to slack off as well. The class quickly became fragmented, with only Kevin's team remaining diligent. Although they knew they were being treated like slaves, they continued to level up. This was because, when they crossed over, they had seen the skills chosen by the delinquents from their class. One was the ability to charm and control others at will, and the other was a puppet-like skill with similar effects. If used on others, these skills would be very dangerous, and as Kevin had feared, the delinquents were openly discussing their plans. The vice president had already been targeted. Upon hearing this, Kevin immediately informed Lucy. To prevent their evil plans from succeeding, Lucy decided to take the bait herself. The moment the delinquents let their guard down, she swiftly knocked them out. Then, using Kevin's sealing skill, she sealed their powers. Soon, the other girls learned about this, and the delinquents were kicked out of their base. However, what no one expected was that, out of shame and anger, they returned under the cover of night and destroyed all their hard work. Some of the classmates even blamed Kevin and his team, saying they shouldn't have gotten into conflict with the delinquents. Although Lucy and a few others defended them, Kevin and his team were still forced to leave the base. Not long after they left, they encountered a large group of goblins. The sounds of fighting quickly woke up Jack, who, upon seeing the situation, realized that the goblins' levels and professions were far stronger than his own. He was about to leave when, using his perception skill, he noticed the 2 goblins were attempting to ambush him. Seeing this, he decided not to hesitate any longer. He immediately intervened, slaying the goblins, and took Kevin and his team back to his secret base. The luxurious decorations inside the cave shocked them all. Through their conversation, Jack sympathized with their tragic circumstances, and decided to treat them to some food. The next day, before they left, Kevin asked Jack if he wanted to team up, as they planned to go to the town and become adventurers. Upon hearing this, Jack flatly refused. After sending them off, Jack decided to check on the others. When he reached the base, it was already evening. Using his enemy detection skill, Jack found several sets of footprints, but when he used his long-range sight to investigate, he was unexpectedly spotted by the group that had forced Kevin and his team out. Seeing this, Jack turned and ran. After Kevin's experience, he didn't want to get involved with them. Since Kevin left, they realized they had made a huge mistake. Before, they had survived thanks to Kevin's protection, but they had driven him away. Now, they deeply regretted it, and wanted to find him to apologize properly. Seeing this, Jack's heart softened. Just as he was about to tell them where Kevin was, he unintentionally triggered his domination skill. In an instant, their expressions became hollow and vacant. Not only would they silently deliver fatal strikes to enemies, but afterward, they would also automatically hand over magic stones to Jack. The problem was, Jack had no idea how to undo this. If Lucy found out, he would be in trouble. Just as he was about to speak, the class president found him. Meanwhile, the delinquents had decided to target the female classmates again. But before that, they decided to deal with the troublesome people first.